Biden and Kamala Harris's disaster. The supposed border czar hasn't lifted a finger, and over the course of Biden's presidency, he has let in around 8 million illegals through our broken border. That's basically the entire population of Michigan minus Oakland County. This didn't happen by accident. They know that President Trump's border policies were working, but on day one, Biden ended every policy that was working. It's time to send President Trump back to Washington and secure our border once and for all. Globally, I am confident that President Trump will usher in brighter days for our nation and our allies. We will create peace through strength. We will stand with our allies. We will rebuild our military, take care of our veterans, and restore our role as the greatest military power the world has ever seen. The world will once again know that there is no greater ally and no fiercer enemy than the United States of America. And here's what I know for sure. When President Trump sets his mind on doing things, they get done. He promised us in Michigan that he'd build a new Sioux Lock. And following his aggressive prompting, the project is well underway. He promised to secure funding for the Great Lakes, and he made sure it happened. He promised us that we were going to provide real choice for our veterans, their families, and he stuck with it and got it done. President Trump has promised to secure our border, cut inflation, and usher in renewed American greatness. You can count on Donald J. Trump to make America great again. God bless you all. God bless America. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Congressman Bill Huizenga.
I kind of like a little Ted Nugent. Keep going. That's good stuff. Actually, okay, that's a good question. Let's start with this. Who was there on election eve of 2016? I had the honor of speaking at that. Who was there on election eve of 2020? You know, I had the honor of speaking at that one too. Ted Nugent and I have something in common. That's about it, I think. I can't play a guitar either. But I just want to say welcome to West Michigan. I'm Bill Huizenga. I'm the Trump-endorsed candidate for the 4th Congressional District, and I am thrilled to be here today with you. Now, I also have endorsed President Trump. We did that in June. Actually, Jack and Tim and all of the Republican Michigan delegation did that. Now, not just this past June, June of last year. So 13 months ago, we came on board because we knew Donald J. Trump was the right man, the right time for the right job. Don't you agree? That's right. So you may be asking yourself, well, at least the media might be asking themselves, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Why are we in Grand Rapids, Michigan? Why are we in Michigan at all? Well, I'll tell you why. It's Trump country, that's right. But it's also a self-declared, quote, blue wall from Joe Biden's campaign. Well, guess what? Joe Biden, just like Hillary Clinton in 2016, is going to find out that that blue wall here in the Midwest, in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, that wall is crumbling for them like a cookie, and it's going in for Donald Trump. So Donald Trump knows that. That's why he's here. And in fact, he even took a guy from Ohio to come here. Okay, pause for boos from the Michigan fans. I know that's now, but we're making progress, folks. We're making progress. JD Vance did admit he needs Michigan. Now, that might be the first time we've seen that from a person from Ohio, but we know that Michigan is part of this because guess what? The road to the White House runs through Michigan. And what happens when we deliver Donald Trump at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, we have to make sure there's two other allies there. A Senate majority, and that's why we need to get Trump-endorsed Senator Mike Rogers elected here from Michigan. And we need to have a House, a Republican majority in the House. And Michigan's got an amazing opportunity with people like Tom Barrett to be able to add seats to that majority. And here's why it's so important. In 2017, February 14 of 2017, the first bill that President Trump signed into law happened to be a bill that I authored, and it had to do with energy security. Now, guess what? That agenda of border security, energy security, economic security, that goes nowhere if Donald Trump doesn't have allies up from 1600 Pennsylvania at the Capitol. So that's why we need to make sure he has a Republican majority in the House and the Senate. And he needs one other vital thing. This movement, our movement, this Make America First movement, is a Michigan first movement. But guess what, folks? Donald Trump is making you the movement right there, and he's putting you first. It's not just make Michigan and make America first and great. It's make you great. So thank you, everybody, for being here. We're looking forward to this election. We're going to be working hard, and let's deliver Michigan.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Congressman Brian Mast.
Good afternoon, Grand Rapids. How y'all doing today? I couldn't be more proud than that my roots are from right here. By only by the grace of God did I graduate South Christian High School back in 1999. But you have an amazing home. Love spending my summers everywhere from Grand Haven Beach to Holland Beach, from Glen Lake to Gun Lake, Tigers games, Whitecaps game. You have an amazing home here. I love this place. I got to start with this. We all have to start with this. A salute to every single one of our veterans. If you served in the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, the Space Force, stand up and let this crowd give you a salute. USA, USA, USA. This is the simple fact of the matter. There is only one person in this race that is fighting to make America worth the sacrifice of each and every one of those veterans, and that's Donald J. Trump. It was my job to stand shoulder to shoulder with fighters each and every night on the battlefield. And I can tell you, I've never stood shoulder to shoulder with a tougher fighter than Donald J. Trump. For those of us that go out there night after night and risk our lives on the battlefield, the fact of the matter is, you can only do it for one reason and one reason alone, and that's because you believe that the cause that you are fighting for is more important than your own life. That's how you can do it. Donald Trump risks his life for you. And Donald Trump risks his life for America because he believes that America is more important than the breath in his lungs and the beat of his heart. That's our president. So to all of you, when you cast your vote for Donald J. Trump and JD Vance, you're not just going to make America great again. You are going to make Michigan and America greater than they have ever been. God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next Vice President of the United States, Senator JD.
Well, I got to come to Grand Rapids more often. Wow. Thank you all so much. It is wonderful to be here with you all, and I've got to say that incredible crowd and incredible turn. An assassin tried to take Donald Trump's life. Crowd in Michigan campaign trail. Brethren, guys, we got to win Michigan. That's the most exciting. Incredible, a blessed week. What a cool thing. Asked President Trump to serve as his running mate to get out there on the campaign trail, but there's some bad news, actually. The Vice President, Kamala Harris, she doesn't like me. Kamala Harris said something to the effect that I have no loyalty to this country. What has she done other than collect a check from her political offices, and we have to give her credit, my friends. She did serve as border czar during the biggest disaster open border that we've ever had in this country. Let's get President Trump back there, close down that border, and bring some common sense and security to this country. Now, I don't know if you all watched the RNC convention, but some of you may not know me. We had a good time. We had a good time. But those who have it, I am just to be up here. I was born and raised in Southern Ohio. I was born to a working class family, and my grandmother and mom struggled with addiction for a big part of my early life. I love Mamaw. Now she was a tough old, very devout Christian. She really was not just a devout Christian, but a thoughtful Christian. She put a lot into what faith required of us. She also the F word. She could make a sailor blush. But she kept me on the street, gave me a chance at the American dream. Campaign about the American dream. What blessed life that I did. A big belief is that politics, I hate to say it, on both sides, both parties were broken in very profound ways. Both parties, if you remember, signed up for shipping millions of good manufacturing jobs off to Mexico and China until President Trump came along and said, we got to make more of our own stuff. We got to make it with our own workers' hands, and we're going to do it for our own people right here in the United States of America, right here in Michigan. And the thing that is they're dangerous. I'm glad you all feel the same way about the media as I do. But what is radical about making more of our own stuff in Michigan, in Ohio, in Pennsylvania? Nothing. What is radical about telling the cartels and the violent gangs across the world, you're not welcome in this country? You know, there's nothing radical about having a strong national security, that when we go to war, we punch and we punch hard, but being cautious and not trying to get America involved in every far-flung corner and conflict of the world. Sometimes, my friends, it just is none of our business, and we ought to stay out of it. That's not radical, it's common sense. And there's nothing radical about stopping the poison and the gangs and the criminals. There's nothing radical about stopping the poison and the gangs and the criminals from taking care of our country. We got to shut down that border, shut down the fit. Now, I want to close here in a second because I know the president wants to talk with you, and that's Semper Fi. God bless you, sir. And we're gonna fire this crowd up, and the president's going to do a great job. So I'm going to be out here, I think, in a second to introduce him. But you know, I'm sure each of you had your own favorite moment from the convention, and of course, you know, my most favorite moment, the moment that really brought. So welcoming, but there was one part of the convention that that really stood out to me and really broke my heart. I don't know if you watched it. I believe that it was on Tuesday night, and there was that really stood out to me and really broke my heart. I don't know if you watched it. I believe that it was on Tuesday night, and there was a young woman. She was probably about my age, about 40, and she was probably about my age, about 40, and she was beautiful and had this very, very. Can you believe it? Can you believe the heartache? I mean, so many of us could never, hopefully, never feel that pain and never know what it's like to lose a child, especially a child that young. But I watched her words, and they were so profound and powerful. And if you haven't seen it, you didn't get a chance to watch it, I'd encourage you to go and watch it, because what she said was really incredible. And, you know, I heard that there were people who were being mean to her online, saying, well, you know, your son shouldn't have taken something to begin with. And I thought, how unbelievably despicable that is. But more importantly, I thought about this as the father of 3 young children. We've got 3 kids, a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old. And by the way, they're out enjoying Grand Rapids right now. My wife took them out on the town, and they're going to have a good day today. But if you have kids, whatever their ages, you know, kids make mistakes. They just do. And one of the things that President Trump wants to do is build the kind of country where kids can make mistakes and learn from them instead of those mistakes taking their life. Isn't that just common sense? President Trump wants to make our streets safe enough that your kids can make a mistake without it ruining their life. He wants to make our economy strong enough so that you can maybe start a business or start another job, where doing and getting a second chance is not something that only happens to the lucky or to the privileged few, but happens to everybody who works hard and plays by the rules. President Trump, in other words, wants to build a country that actually works for the citizens of this country once again. He did it for 4 years. He did it so successfully for 4 years. We've never, think about this, my friends, we have never had an election where you have 4 years of one guy and 4 years of the other guy. And who could possibly reject the idea that 4 years of President Trump has been a hell of a lot better than 4 years of Joe Biden, right? That's right. And we've got an opportunity to do it. We've got an opportunity to win a lot of races up and down the ballot, to re-establish American dominance in energy, to drill, baby, drill, and kick out the drug cartels of our country. Man, what are they putting the water in Grand Rapids here? You guys are a lot of fun. But I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me such a warm welcome, for giving me and President Trump the opportunity to win your vote, for working so hard over the next 4 months, because we want an America that works for Americans. And the only way to do it is to re-elect Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. I'm going to do everything I can. I know you will too. God bless you and thank you, each and every one of you, from the bottom of my heart. I'm so grateful and I won't forget it.